lot of, I don't want you to out anybody, but are there some dumb questions coming in from these affiliates? Okay, let's not say dumb, because you're much nicer than I am. Questions where you're like, really? Are you asking me this?
I think there are things like scenarios that someone might present that from the outside, seem nonsensical or, man, how could you get into this scenario? But I think that it's really easy to judge from the outside. Like we've all done things or been, whether it be in like a problematic relationship or, had things in our lives that like we justify and justify and justify. Like, so like, I'll give a fake example of like, you have a, really terrible coach who's, slept with 20 of the women in the gym already and has a bad reputation. And from the outside, you're like, obviously fire this jabroni. Like, what is wrong with you? But like that affiliate owner might have this relationship and they feel like they owe this person and they have this sense that how can we possibly run the gym without them? And, and not to validate those actions at all, but like, I think that you have to look at from the, like, we're all very fallible. And a lot of times in my experience, things that kind of seem the most like, wow, I can't believe you're doing that, ultimately come from a good place of them trying to help someone or give someone a second chance or, that kind of stuff. So I think that you have to look at it from a very human and empathetic perspective of like, on the outside, it's very obvious. And you hear that a lot. So you'll do like roundtables. We have the roundtable program, which we just finished the pilot of, and that's where you're meeting with up to 9 affiliates every other week. And there's like these prompts that you go through and people become very vulnerable and talk about what they're doing. And most people get there. So once you start asking the right questions, people will be like, yeah, I guess they did do this. I should do that. How would you feel? Like people can get to that end on their own. They just sometimes need that reflection or that person to be asking the right questions. Definitely not telling them what to do. So if I say, Jason, you're an idiot, just fire this guy, you're just going to put up a wall to me and be like, well, you don't get it. You don't understand all the nuance around this situation, whether or not there actually is.
Well, considering I think you're describing a scenario from Albany CrossFit circa 2009, but, and I think a lot of that is also, speaking from that empathy perspective, we forget like, hey, maybe that's your only coach. And maybe you got 2 kids at home and your wife is, going to divorce you if you spend more time at the box. So you keep on the wrong people because that's all you can do right now. So yeah, I think, you probably witnessed as well that transformation and growth mindset in CrossFit where I think I don't often give people answers because there is no right answer. Everything is really, subjective and I love saying there's no right or wrong in CrossFit. There's no black and white. There's a whole lot of gray. And if you try to pigeonhole or you try to plug and play a CrossFit affiliate, it's not going to work.